All right, today we're diving into this really beautiful story called The Banyan Secret. And it kicks off with this amazing question. What if the key to our future is actually hidden in the wisdom of our past? Yeah, think about that for a second. What if the solution to our biggest problems isn't some brand new revolutionary idea, but something old, something forgotten, something that's been waiting right there in plain sight all along? So, let's set the scene. Our story starts in a place where a whole community is on edge, facing a real crisis. See, their entire way of life is tied to the sky, and when the rain doesn't come, well, it threatens everything.
Okay, so I want you to picture this, a bright, sun-baked village, and this is where we meet our hero, Ananya. She's a student, super curious and smart, but she's also really connected to her family's farming roots, and that bond, it's about to be put to the test.
And this is where the trouble starts. The ground is bone dry and the crops are failing. And you gotta understand, this isn't just one family's problem. The entire village is feeling this worry. Their whole livelihood is just withering away.
Now, to really get why they're so worried, you have to understand the monsoon. It's not just a rainy season, okay? It's literally the lifeblood of the whole region. It's the one thing that decides if the fields will be green and if there'll be food on the table. For farmers like Ananya's family, its arrival is, well, it's everything.
And then we get this line, just 5 simple words that carry so much weight and confirm all their worst fears. This year, the monsoon was late. You can just feel the hope in the village starting to drain away.
But right when things are looking their bleakest, when despair is really starting to take hold, the story takes a turn. A little glimmer of hope appears, and it doesn't come from the sky. It comes from the roots of the village itself.
So this is where we meet the ancient banyan tree. And this isn't just a tree. It's a character in its own right. The elders say it's a silent witness to the village's history. Just imagine the secrets it holds, the generations it's watched over.
And this right here, this is the moment that sets everything in motion. Ananya, in this simple act of kindness, sees this little bird trapped and just helps it. She's not looking for anything in return. She's just being compassionate. It tells you so much about who she is.
And then, suddenly, her simple act of kindness comes back to her. The little bird she just saved reappears, and it drops something. This is it. This is the moment where everything starts to change.
And boom, there it is. The secret is out. Her kindness is rewarded with this mysterious little object. It's an old hand-drawn map. You can just feel the history in it, right? It feels personal, ancient, and absolutely full of promise. Okay, so we have a map, but let's be real. A map is just a piece of paper, right? The next part of the story is all about how they turn this old drawing into a real, life-saving solution for the entire village.
And here's how it all goes down. Look, Ananya doesn't try to be a hero on her own. The first thing she does is take the map to the village leaders. It's their teamwork, their collective action, that turns this piece of paper into a miracle. It really shows you how one person's discovery can totally spark a community's hope.
And this is the big moment. You can just imagine everyone holding their breath as they dig. And then they find it. A hidden well filled with cool, clean water. It's not just water. The description emphasizes how pure and life-giving it is. The secret from the past has literally become the salvation of their future.
And just like that, the crisis is over. Life comes rushing back. The fields are green again. What a powerful image, right? And the whole village celebrates together with a feast of traditional sweets like ladoos and jalebis. It just makes the victory feel so real, so communal.
Okay, so the story itself is just fantastic. But the way it's told, the way it's put together, that teaches us even more. So let's kind of pull back the curtain and unpack the narrative to see what other lessons are hiding in there.
This line from Ananya's father really just hits the nail on the head. You didn't just find water, Ananya. You found hope. See, the water solved the immediate problem, sure. But the discovery itself, that realization that they could save themselves, that's what really brought the community back to life. It's about empowerment, not just about getting a drink.
Now, let's look at the words the story uses. They're not just random words. They're chosen to paint a picture. Words like monsoon, massive, tangled, generations. Each one helps build this rich, vivid world of the village. It's how the story makes you feel like you're right there with them. And speaking of language, look at this little grammar trick the story uses so well.
Super simple, but so powerful. We don't just get a tree, we get an ancient tree. It's not just a bird, it's a colorful bird. These little describing words, these adjectives, they transform everyday things into parts of a legend. They paint this vivid picture in your mind and add a real sense of magic and history to the whole thing. And all of this really brings us back to the story's main point. Ananya herself is like a bridge, right? She has her modern education, but she also has this deep respect for ancient wisdom. And the story shows us that real progress isn't about just throwing out the old and bringing in the new. It's about weaving them together to find the best solutions.
So, that leaves us with one final question to think about for ourselves. What secrets from our own past hold the key to our future? Maybe it's a piece of advice from your grandparents, or a forgotten skill in our communities, or even a lesson from history we've ignored. What hidden wells are just waiting out there for us to rediscover?